The priest met her at the door, incomprehension etched into their faces, astonishment, disbelief. Her rising joy shrank into a tiny iridescent sunstone that she secreted into her heart. She pulled the rain-saturated cloth over head and face, veiling herself. The men stared, the priests, the scholars, the warrior-caste chieftain with a glinting sword at his side. Savitri was overcome by a sudden uncertainty. Here she was, returning to society and its cruel laws, drawn home by the daughter who remained inside. Stranger now. The piece is called Possession, and it is adapted from my forthcoming novel, At Her Divine Breast. And it's set in the Kingdom of Travancore, modern-day Kerala, in the year 1811. And it is a story told, the piece is told through the interplay of voice, music, and dance. And it is a story of a Namboothiri Brahmin wife, which is the highest caste of Brahmin in Kerala, and how she negotiates the rigid confines of her society to kind of embrace her destiny. And so I started off with like an excerpt that was about 50 pages, and I kind of kept cutting out different threads. It was like undoing a tapestry, pulling out characters and their threads, pulling out themes, pulling out plot happenings, so that it just became more and more distilled into a pure and pure piece. And what was important for me was how to not mime everything that's being said, but to create an abstraction of maybe the feeling that is getting evoked from, you know, a certain scene or a certain section of the story, but then at other times to actually embody the main character. And I also enjoy being able to speak as the character. I think that's really important, not just being this body that is being moved around by somebody else's voice, but to have these moments where I speak as well and to choreograph that into the piece. But yeah, it's been really, I love playing like this. I love playing with all these different layers, and you know, it feels kind of like how when I was a kid and I would read a story, I would just imagine all these things being conjured and happening and scenes changing, but we just have a stage, and so we do it minimally, but there's still a lot of magic in that.
Normally you're accompanying another musician or you're doing a solo performance, and there isn't really a semantic story that you're trying to tell. Like, there's no plot.
Right.
Or you're conveying emotions and all that, but there's no story per se. So this is different, is that I've got to convey a story, and then we do some, like I do some interesting things with the rhythm. Like when to create tension, we'll choose an odd beat cycle, like we were using 7s and 9s that are put the audience a little uneasy. They're not used to hearing that. And then, you know, when we want to create something with happiness or joy, we'll use a 4-beat cycle and kick up the pulse, and like we normally do. But yeah, it's different because now I have to support a story. And then the other thing that's different is I'm using my instruments purely for the sound effects. So there's a scene where we all cut out, and I sort of create a loud boom to scare the audience a little bit.
Right.
So that's a bit different as well.
We both composed everything for the piece, so we came up with the rags and the thals, and especially with this one, it was actually really fun to kind of innovate on my instrument as well, because we essentially changed between 4 different rags. So it starts off with a kind of a Bairagi Bhairav yearning, really pathos, crying out for Goddess Kali to come and help her, and then it goes to unadulterated joy, as in I've actually heard from her herself. She's come, she's helped me, she's spoken to me, joyous happiness, which was kind of like a Brindabani Sarang type of rag. And then we move again to ominous, something's going to happen, tension, create more tension. So that was a, what rag was that?
Madhuvanti.
Yes, Madhuvanti, which is an excellent rag because it's just got two facets to it. And then the last one were kind of like a Mishra Pahadi joys.